Okay, hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the Empowered Woman Speaker Series, and this speaker series is for you if you are ready to believe in yourself, to know your worth, to feel confident in yourself and what you offer the world. And we're going to be gathering for the next 90 minutes to be inspired, empowered, uplifted, and to transform limiting beliefs and fears into new beliefs that will take you to the next level in your life and business. We have some incredible speakers today. We're going to have to move fairly quickly through everyone. So if you have comments or questions, please feel free to put them in the chat section and we can answer them there when the speakers are done or during while they're speaking. So I'm going to go through the speaker order. First, we're going to have Elizabeth Rosner, aka Dr. Roz. She's our love lady. And she's going to be talking about a lead with love today. I'm so excited to hear your talk. I will be speaking second with Be the Light, How to Boldly Make Your Impact During Times of Challenge. Next, we will have speaker Priyanka Venkataraman. Shoot. I asked you how to pronounce it and I just still messed up. Venkataraman. Is that
Venkataraman, thank you.
Venkataraman? Yeah, so sorry. When you're about to lose it, tools to stay calm and connected. And Jasmine Charchun, how to turn what you know into what you do. Okay, so we are on Zoom and Facebook Live. If you are watching on Zoom, I will ask you to please, I'm going to stick some links in the chat really quickly. If you are watching on Zoom, if you wouldn't mind going over to Facebook, to the link I'm posting there, and click share if you wouldn't mind doing that. I want to reach as many people as possible today with our messages of love, with our messages of empowerment and inspiration and community. If you wouldn't mind hitting the share button, that would be so fantastic so that we can share to the most people possible today. And then also, if you're not in the Facebook community yet, the Confident Woman community, please join the Facebook group as well, where you'll be updated on future events and just given more tools and tips on how to build your confidence. I am on a mission of empowering as many people as possible, so I would love if you would please share. Okay, so now, without further ado, we will introduce our first speaker, Elizabeth Rosner, aka Dr. Roz. Her topic is leading with love. Her bio, at the heart of everything Elizabeth Rosner does, affectionately known as Dr. Roz, she is the love revolution. This powerful, overarching movement is dedicated to transforming lives and communities by embracing the boundless power of love and nonviolence. I absolutely love that. Dr. Roz envisions a world where we're teaching 8 billion people to love 8 billion people, one heart at a time. This philosophy guides Dr. Roz's unwavering commitment to cultivating a culture of nonviolence and compassion, deeply inspired by the teachings of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Her work extends to promoting Nonviolence 365 and her continued impactful engagement with the King Center. Within this grand vision, Dr. Roz founded and serves as the Chief Educational Officer of Debt Free Degree with Dr. Roz, which empowers students to achieve their academic dreams without the burden of student loan debt, championing financial literacy and generational wealth building. Dr. Roz's goal is to make the debt-free degree curriculum accessible to every middle and high school student across the United States. So amazing. I'm so happy to introduce to you. Okay, take it away, Dr. Roz.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so delighted to be with each one of you. And I want you to know, in the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr., I have a dream. And as Erin said, my dream is 8 billion people loving 8 billion people, one heart at a time. I used to just say it was 8 billion people loving 8 billion people, which is, of course, everybody loving everybody. That's what it comes down to. But I added one heart at a time because sometimes it can feel overwhelming. You hear this big number and you just think, oh, I can't do that. But when you take it down to one heart at a time, then you can say, who can I love in my sphere of influence? Now, many of you may be thinking, love is weak and love is passive and there's just no way I can love everybody. And I don't want to have to do that. What does that even mean? And so the definition that I use in leading with love, love stands for letting others voluntarily evolve And it's letting ourselves voluntarily evolve. So letting others voluntarily evolve and letting ourselves voluntarily evolve. And what does that mean? It means that I meet you, Mallory, right where you are. And you say, I see you. You have dignity. You have worth. You have that spark of divinity in you. I am delighted that you're on the planet. You and I, Mallory, might disagree on 99 out of 100 things, but I know that I love you because you're on this planet. And when Mallory's doing well, then Elizabeth is doing well, and vice versa. And it's this understanding of this interconnection, which we're going to get into. To lead with love is letting others be fully who they are, and you decide you're going to love them just exactly the way they are. We're going to be hearing from someone talking about parenting and family, and what does that mean to look at the people who you're related to and say, "I love you and I see you." They may not be making the same choices you want them to make. Maybe you have businesses. Maybe you're an employee somewhere. We're all in these spaces where we get to decide that people get to be exactly who they want to be, because love heals and love transforms. It includes our businesses as living entities, our relationships are living entities. When people ask me, why is the name of my company Love Revolution? When you look at the word revolution, REVOL, love is backward in that word. It comes from a quote by Martin Luther King that says, a social movement that moves merely people is a revolt, but a social movement that transforms both people and institutions is a revolution. Love is revolutionary. How many of you read the headlines, talk to your friends, and you think to yourself, do you know what I need more in the world of? Division. You know what would be amazing? Why don't we have more polarization? Do you know? Okay, I understand that there's a lot of conflict in the world, but let me tell you, we have found the way to achieve everything it is that we want to achieve. And you know what it is? War and violence. It's not working. None of that is working. Every bit of that is dividing and separating us. Love is transformational. When you lead with love, you're going to love yourself more. You're going to love others more. You'll love your business more. You'll love your family more. You'll get more success. It sets you apart. It's countercultural. I'm in a networking group, different than the one where I met many of these ladies. And I just did my 1 minute. And then they said, who are you looking for? And blah, blah, blah. And I said, somebody in that group that I had never met before, he was a visitor. He sent me a message and he said, I just was talking to a friend today, another gentleman. He said, and we were talking about love, dot, dot, dot. That is not the norm for me. And he went on to say that these two men concluded that love was the transformational power. Love is how we're going to get to where we want to be. So you can make an impact in leading with love every single place where you are. It is a very powerful strategy. It's not this fluffy concept. It's very much cognitive and very much a choice. Keep that in mind. Very much a cognitive and very much a choice. So we're not talking about mamby-pamby love. We're not talking about romantic love. We're not talking about I love you because you love me. Jasmine and I are sisters. We've known each other quite some time. I love Jasmine in many, many ways. But we're not talking about that sisterhood love. We're talking about agape, unconditional, cognitive love. Now, in everything that I do, and many of you who have not yet met me, you can hear in my voice that I am from the South. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. And I use the grit framework, the grit blueprint in everything that I do. And we're going to do this in leading with love. So the G, I'm going to come back to these. I'm going to do them kind of quickly and then come back and do a deeper dive. The G is gratitude. The R is responsibility. The I is interconnection. And the T is three. So we're going to go back and look at those. So gratitude. I'm grateful for each one of you. I'm grateful for Polka Dot Powerhouse. I am grateful that Erin Summ spends her time and her talent and her money sewing hearts. Have y'all seen her hearts? It's amazing what she does. Absolutely amazing. I am so grateful for that. We all have heard this mindset shift of I have to versus I get to. We all have those opportunities of gratitude. Now, some of us, you may be thinking, ugh, sometimes it's really, really hard. I will be honest with y'all. I have not had a dishwasher in over 2 years, not a machine that works. And our dishwasher broke. And my mister said, I really like washing dishes. And he likes getting in there and he likes the water on his hands. And so I could say, oh, I don't have a dishwasher. I have to wash the dishes. But I say, I get to wash the dishes because I have the opportunity to think about what went on the plate, what happened at the table when we were having conversation. And I'll be honest with y'all, one way I get to be grateful for that is because Mr. washes the dishes about 98% of the time. So I'm not even going to play like I'm the one that likes it, but that's why we don't have a dishwasher. You can take anything and say, okay, where's the kernel of gratefulness? Not I'm grateful for this thing, the whole thing, because it can be really, really awful. And y'all, there are a lot of awful things happening to a lot of people out there right now. But finding the gratitude in this is a way to lead with love. Another way to lead with love, and this is the R of the grit blueprint, is responsibility. Is this mine to carry or not? Now, what happens oftentimes is we will say, okay, this is mine to carry and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it all on my own. I'm not going to ask any for any help or I'm just going to put my head down and do it. Is it your responsibility to carry it completely on your own? I don't know. You get to decide that. If it's not your responsibility and you're going to delegate it, another way to not lead with love is to abdicate. So sometimes we delegate, but then sometimes as women, we just abdicate. Like, here you go, you do you, boo, you take care of it, and then we just go hands off. That's not our responsibility either. Our responsibility is to pay attention and make sure that it's happening. So I have an operations director. She's been with me for many, many years. And at the time, this is how long ago it was. At the time, my colors for Debt Free Degree and for Love Revolution were coral and blue. And I personally love coral. It's my favorite, favorite, favorite color. And I like blue. And I was leaning more into the Love Revolution. And I have these designer jackets. And I took a lot of pictures in several different jackets. And so her name is Terry, she got the pictures, and it was her job to design social media posts that went around that. She looked at those pictures and it was all red and black. And so she designed this entire social media spread, all based on the colors of red and black. Now, I'm a huge UGA Bulldog fan, and so I love red and black. I wear a lot of red and black. Also, love is red. It was not until I had gone, oh my goodness, yes, this needs to be the new color scheme, that the universe sent me this message. If you want to graduate from college, do you want to graduate in the red or do you want to graduate in the black? I said, all righty then. Now, it was not Terry's responsibility to say to me, Coral and Blue are not working for you for Love Revolution or for Debt Free Degree. It was her job to see what was in front of her and pull out the best aspects. It was so in front of me. And again, because I'm such a big UGA fan, I didn't think that I could use red and black. And there it was, right there. It was her responsibility to be in her zone of genius. Such a powerful, powerful move. The eye is interconnected. Nothing happens in a vacuum. Everything happens with intentionality. And I love this quote by Dr. King. He says, in a real sense, all life is interrelated. All men are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. I can't be all I'm supposed to be until you are all you are supposed to be. That's the interrelated structure of reality. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. wrote that sitting in a southern Birmingham, Alabama jail cell in 1963. Sitting in a jail cell, understanding that we are all interconnected. It goes back to that I can't be all I'm supposed to be until Mallory is fully who she is supposed to be. Y'all, we are living so far below who we are called to be and our highest selves. If we start calling people not out, not canceling people, calling people up in a love centered way, how can you, Priyanka, how can you live your highest, best self? That's where we're supposed to be. And that's the interconnectedness. You all know about algorithms and social media. You hit like on a post, you take a half second intentionality and you linger there and you hit either hit love or you hit haha or you hit something that boosts the algorithms exponentially. It just takes a fraction of a second more to be intentional. So everything that I do is all about love. My nails, my purse. If you see me, I have I'm always looking for hearts. I love, love, love. My dear friend Betsy talks about reticular activation system. And what that means, RAS, is what you look for, you find. So I look for hearts every single day. I do a heart sighting every single day. One of my heart sightings for today is Erin's necklace. I didn't even mention it to her, but I zoomed in. I was like, ooh, she's got hearts on her necklace. Okay. I even have a heart sighting page on my website. We'll talk about that in a minute. But understanding it's not always intuitive. If love is not your natural inclination, particularly in business or particularly in other aspects where you're like, I don't know that I can be love and squishy. If you're being cognitive and leading with love, then it can become your natural go to. And then we have T, which is three, the power of three. So let's say, for example, that, oh, thank you, Mallory. I just saw that. You put that in the chat. I don't know when you put that in there, but I love you too. Let's say, for example, that I know somebody that I want to introduce to Jasmine. So the power of three is I know Jasmine and I know she's amazing. I know my friend and I know my friend is amazing. And my friend has spent way too much money on way too many courses and she is drowning in, notebooks filled with stuff that she's not implementing, then I connect them. That's the power of three. If I say to her, there's probably somebody out there that will help you with those notebooks and will help you implement, why don't you Google it? Not so much, but that beautiful power of three. If you want to get the most of whatever group you're showing up in, then understand that the best way is thinking about like the rings of a tree, thinking about how you know somebody and they know somebody and how that interconnection is playing in. Even if you think about the caterpillar to a butterfly, that transformation, many people think that that's a two-step process. Caterpillar to butterfly, boom, boom, we're all good. No, every single thing that the butterfly needs to fly is within that caterpillar. Nothing that the butterfly needs to come that's not inside that caterpillar. But that caterpillar goes in a cocoon and literally dissolves into mush and then has to be reknit together. It's a three-step process. It's caterpillar, it's cocoon, I think that's called chrysalis. I think I'm saying that correctly. And then it's butterfly. It's a three-step process to leading with love. So here are my three C's for the three-step process. It's commit, it's curious, and then collaboration. When you are committed to leading with love, it's a choice. I choose to offer compassion. Now, y'all, this happens to me all the time because I lead with love. It is not a manipulation to get other extra things. It is a natural byproduct, however. And so the other day we were in a restaurant. I recently celebrated a birthday. And so on my little app at this restaurant, I had a birthday coupon of, I think it was $15 off $30 or something like that. Well, it was going to expire. And that's the sole reason why Mr. and I went there for dinner. And the way that Mike and I usually do things is we usually order an appetizer and an entree and we split both and we're good to go. And so we ordered our appetizer, we ordered our entree, and our appetizer came out about 7 minutes after our entree, which was completely fine. And who cares, right? But the waitress was like, no, 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 I don't, that's not good. No, no, no. And we said, it's fine, it's fine. She said, we'll take care of it. No big deal. Y'all, we get the bill. It's like $4. They have not only taken off the appetizer, but they also took that $15 off. Of course, I tipped on the full amount. And then because I thought it was going to expire and because we had company coming, then I knew we weren't going to get to use it. However, our company said, "Oh, we love that particular restaurant. Let's go there." I was like, "Well, great. Who knew?" So I go and they go, "Oh, yeah, you've got a $15 off birthday coupon to use." Y'all, I got to use it twice simply because I was loving. I just showed up as myself. I did not demand that you give me back my coupon. I didn't say, "Well, why is the appetizer coming out?" Because, y'all, guess what? That food was good. It didn't matter if I was eating those, kettle chips after our entree or with, it didn't matter. So when we choose compassion, that choice is so incredibly powerful. If you meet angry and aggressive people with anger and aggression, what do you think you're going to get? And all you have to do is look around the world and you see what happens when people are angry and you meet that anger with angry. It just gets us more anger. So the second C is getting curious. Now, I oftentimes we'll talk about this. What's sweeter, water or honey? We have a whole discussion, but we're a little bit crunched on time, and I'm just going to answer for y'all. Honey is sweeter than water. Okay, everybody can agree on that. So if you think about a plate, if you drop a drop of water on there, and you drop a drop of honey on there, and you take the plate and you turn it up like this, which one's going to run off more quickly, the water or the honey? It's the water, right? So when we're leading with love, to get curious, you respond at the speed of honey. That's the sweeter response, where you lean in, where you put your focus, where you put more of your time. Because focusing on and changing the root cause and not the person. So you're not like, "Oh, I didn't like that Priyanka said that to me." And so all of a sudden Priyanka and I are, no, you just get curious. "Priyanka, what's going on? Help me understand. Let me get curious. Let me respond at the speed of honey." And then when she responds and tells me what's going on, then it's not, "Let me take Priyanka down because she's not a nice person and I don't care for her." It's, "Oh, Priyanka was bothered by this issue and Elizabeth is bothered by this issue. Let's, Priyanka and I link arms and let's focus on this issue." Do you see how powerful that is? So when you know that it's a choice and you're committed, and then you lean in and get curious, particularly if you're having a disagreement with someone, and then you decide, "Wait a minute, I'm going to collaborate." And so understanding that there are a bazillion ways that you can lead with love all the time. And so my challenge to each one of you is to think about the grit blueprint and to say to yourself, "Today, I will love myself enough to do what that will ensure that you have abundance in your life." I will love myself enough to do what? What is it? Is it to stop arguing on social media? Is it that you have a love infused business and you want to be interviewed by me? I'm going to drop a link in there to do that. Is it that you want to change your language? Is it that if you disagree with a political person, that instead of calling names like the orange turd or, the idiot or the dummy, that you say, that person has a soul. That person has a heartbeat. How am I going to change my language?" Whatever it is, I will love myself enough to do what? To ensure I have more abundance and love in my life. I'm going to drop some links in there for you to connect with me on YouTube and on LinkedIn. And I'm doing an interview series. So if you are infusing love into your business and would like to be interviewed, then there's a scheduling link for you. Thank you.
Yay. Thank you. Okay, give me just 1 second, everyone. When I went live on Facebook, I hit the public button. I made sure it was going public and it went to friends only. So everyone who shared it, nobody's going to get to see it because it was set to friends only. So I am trying to go live again. I think it's live. If everyone, with anybody mind going to check, because I have so many windows open right now trying to like run everything. If someone could go to Facebook and make sure it's public, that would be great because it should be public now, hopefully. Okay. All right. Hello. Okay. Okay, let me grab the chat. Thank you so much, Dr. Roz. That was awesome. Can anyone put something in the chat for Dr. Roz? And Dr. Roz, thank you. I see you put your links in there. That's awesome. So everyone can go follow Dr. Roz. Make sure you follow her on YouTube and her website and all the things to spread more love with Dr. Roz. Okay, can anyone see if we're live on Facebook and if it's public? Okay, it looks like it's live, but I can't.
Yes, I can see that it's public. I can see it
Okay,
on your
thank you.
site, Erin, Summ. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so
Yeah.
much. I'm going to share the links again to share it because apparently it did not go public. And, Facebook changes things all the time, everyone. So I double checked that it was public. It went back to friends after I hit go live. And usually that's happened before, and I have been able to go in and change it from friends to live or public, no problem. And this time would not let me. So I had to stop the recording or the live and go back and start fresh. Anywho, okay. It's time for me to speak. So I'm going to turn on the timer, grab my notes. Okay. So here we go. Today, I'm going to be speaking on how to be the light, how to be bold and share your light during challenging times. So, first, I want to start by saying that the light you see in others is a reflection of the light that is within you. I'm going to say that again. The light you see in others is a reflection of the light that you see in you. So if you see light in others, that means it's in you too. Okay. I like to say you spot it, you got it, right? Because oftentimes as a confidence coach, women come to me and they say, they feel like they're not good enough. They feel like they might be struggling with their confidence and things like that, or that they don't have value to bring. So I ask them to start looking at, what do you see in others? Because that's in you too, right? The good, the amazingness that you see in others is also in you too. So you cannot see something in someone else unless it is in you first. So light and confidence, your light and confidence go hand in hand. So the more confident you are, the more light you're able to share with the world. Okay. So this is a time in our history that your light is so needed to uplift and empower others. Right. And Dr. Roz just talked a lot about that, a lot about spreading love and how can you be, have that gratitude. How are we all interconnected? We're all interconnected, right? I'm sure all of you have heard of the butterfly effect, right? Which says something like if a butterfly flaps its wings in New York, it causes a ripple effect in, California, right? So each one of us, as we're spreading our light and love in the world, the more we can do that, the more of a ripple effect it's going to have on our communities. And I am going to talk about my hearts that I have created, as Dr. Roz mentioned. I'm going to show you guys if you haven't seen them. So I'll talk about that a little bit later in my talk. But what can you do to spread your light? What can you do to spread your love at this time? Right. And as I talk about challenges, I'm not just talking about challenges in the world right now. I'm talking about also, challenges in your life, challenges that we go through in life. Right. So this is a time where your light is so needed to uplift and empower others in the world. Your confidence and your message is more important than ever before. And it's most important during times of struggle, right? We always need you to share your light and your message, but during times of struggle, it's even more critical. So I want you to ask yourself, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments, how can I share my light? How can I share my light? What can I do to support others in sharing my own light? This time in history is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to serve. It's an opportunity to grow, whether that's growing yourself, growing your business, right? Leaders are born in times of crisis. Dr. Roz talked about MLK, right? He became more of a leader during times of crisis. Leadership requires confidence as well, right? I'm sure you probably haven't seen too many people who are super, super shy and they're hiding behind, they're standing in the corner and making a huge impact, right? So our confidence, our radiating our light, shining our light is going to help you help more people. Showing up grounded and calm. Yeah. And I know you're going to talk about that, Priyanka. Jasmine, by being yourself and letting that be enough for today. Yeah. Dr. Ross. Sorry. Call people by their name at the grocery store and restaurants, at the gas station. Yeah, that's great. Can't share the team. Oh, okay. Lead with intention. We should be able to share on the chat. Everybody should be able to chat. I'm sorry, I can't troubleshoot that. um, Everyone should be able to share in the chat, so I'm not sure why you're not able to do that. So when you see someone growing themselves over time, they might not be so confident at first, right? But the more you share your message, the more you're able to step outside your comfort zone, the more you're able to stand in your power, right? The more you can share your light and make a bigger difference. Okay. So think about the people that you know. I'm going to use Dr. Roz as an example again, because I met her on a Polka Dot Powerhouse international call, and I was just like, oh my God, I want to be her friend, because she just shines so bright. She's full of so much joy that I just had to know her. And I immediately invited her to be a guest on this because I knew she would be the perfect speaker. But I just want to share really quickly my story too, is that I used to be very shy. My whole life as a child growing up, even through college, I was a really shy person, but I always knew that there was more to my life. I always knew that there was this, I was here to make an impact, right? I was put on the planet for a reason, to make a difference. So throughout my whole life, I've done all sorts of things outside my comfort zone to grow, to help other people. And so long story short, I've done all sorts of different things to really grow outside my comfort zone, grow my confidence, be more bold, be more assertive, speak my truth, right? And it's been really scary at times, super, super scary. But the more I've done it, the more courageous I've been, the more confidence I've gained, and the more people I've been able to help, right? And the more I've been able to share my light. So I encourage you, even if you're super shy or you're super afraid, just take a small little step. A small little step. It might be just talking to one person. And the more you do those small steps, the more your confidence is going to grow. Okay. And this is really a time for you to grow, to glow, to be a magnet, and to really help other people. There's no more shrinking, right? We have to take that courage and we have to really step out with our light and our message right now. This is not a time to stay back in fear. It's time to spread your light, to uplift and empower others, right? It's very, very important right now. So many people are suffering in the world, and they really need what you have, right? So, this is a time for you to step up. So be a beacon of light, right? The world needs more leaders to step up right now. So please comment impact if you're here to make an impact. I would love to know. Yeah, no more shrinking. Yeah. My people need me more than ever. That's a great mantra to have. My people need me now more than ever, right? This time is an opportunity for you to help more people. Yeah, impact. Yeah. So when people are afraid, they're seeking confidence and clarity from others, from the people who are leading them, hope and light through the darkness, right? So I want you to be the light that they are seeking. So ask yourself, how can I share my light? How can I share my light? Oh, good. I'm so glad, Mallory. I don't know what happened. They've changed things with the chat, and it's gotten kind of funny lately. So I have a free gift that I'll give you at the end, but it's how to stay confident during any challenge. And I'll tell you how to get that. It's a video series. It's free. But here are a few steps for you to share your light. Ask yourself, what message is on your heart that you want to share? So I want you to know that whatever message is on your heart, you're good enough to share that. Okay, we often hold back because we don't think our message is good enough. We don't think it's perfect enough. We don't think that we're worthy enough or that people want to hear it. But people really need to hear that from you. Okay, you are the energy of love and light. And it's the truth of who you are. And there are thousands of people dying to hear what you have to say. Okay, so I don't know if one of you co-hosts can help with the chat. I've had two people say that the chat isn't working. It's disabled for participants, and I'm not sure why that is because some people are able to use it. It should not be disabled. I don't know what's happening there. I don't know if any of you guys can help. Thank you. Okay, so I was afraid for a long time to share so many different things, right? Like what's on my heart with my business, my confidence coaching. I don't think I said I'm a confidence transformation coach for those of you who don't know. So I went from being very, very shy to becoming a confidence transformation coach and sharing my message. I've done retreats and live events. I've done lots of Facebook Live videos. I'm doing these as well now. So I went from being really, really shy and being terrified to speak to doing my own events and all these different things, right? Because I've been able to continually get outside my comfort zone. I look at my vision. What is my big vision? Who do I want to help, right? And that helps me get out of my own way to look at who do I want to help? How do I want to help the world, right? Looking at that big vision. So if you aren't sharing your message that's on your heart, what are you afraid of? What's stopping you? I want you to ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Am I afraid of being criticized, of being judged? Of people hating on me, of having haters. And by the way, if you have haters, it just means you've arrived. It means you're doing something right. I had my first hater quite a few years ago, and I was like, woohoo! I celebrated it because that meant I was doing something right, right? I was being out there enough for somebody to go, I don't like what you're doing. I don't like you. And that was okay with me. So what are you afraid of? What's stopping you? Is there a belief that's stopping you? Is it a fear? Is it someone else's belief or a message you've heard from someone sometime in your life that stuck with you? Maybe it was a teacher, maybe a parent, family member. Often it's fear when we're holding ourselves back, right? A fear of we're not enough. We don't have enough value. We're not good enough. It's not perfect enough, right? Nobody wants to hear it. It's all been said before. It's that thought that somebody's already said it. Nobody needs to hear from me because somebody's already said that. You say it in a different way. It's your message, right? It's the way you say it. How many thousands of people have talked about love, but Dr. Roz says it in a different way, right? So you might need to be able to build your own confidence, and might have to build your own confidence to be able to share your message and to create new empowering beliefs to help you to get out there in the world. Okay, so let your passions inspire you. What lights you up? What or who inspires you in life? Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a movement. I'm personally passionate about supporting women to let go of that mind trash that holds them back. They're playing small, their fears, to be more confident, to believe in themselves, right? To stand in their power, to reach for more than they've ever thought possible, right? So what are you passionate about? What are you personally passionate about? What do you dream of? What impact do you dream of making? What's that vision? And how can you turn those passions, those dreams into helping others? So if you're struggling right now with all the things going on in the world, ask yourself, what lights me up? What inspires me? How can I help others right now? Right? So I haven't done this yet, this round of the world being on fire. But back during COVID, I bought a ton of colored chalk, right? Everyone was doing chalk drawings at that time, right? Everybody was so bored because they had to stay home. So everyone was like, let's buy chalk and draw on the street. So I did that. I have so much chalk in my garage right now. And I drew all these chalk drawings all along my sidewalk and my driveway. And some of them were funny, like don't just stand there, pull a weed, right? Because I had tons of weeds in my yard, just to make people laugh. Some of them were about love and kindness and coming together as a community, right? So I want to do that again. I've been more inspired to be doing that lately. And so chalk drawings, maybe doing things publicly so your neighbors know you're a safe place. You're all about love and kindness, right? Maybe it's making little memes and posting them on Facebook. This morning, I posted something about I was having a kind of a rough morning, and I posted, "Does anybody else need some love and hugs right now? Me too." Like sending love and hugs to everyone. And just that one little post got, I don't know, 60 something likes, a ton of comments of people not only sending love, but saying, yeah, me too. Thank you so much, thanking me, asking for love too. And so just a simple post like that can make such a big difference, right? So what can you do? You can make a difference. Just doing something really small can make a huge difference for people. Gandhi said, what did Gandhi say? Everyone knows this. Be the change you wish to see in the world, right? That's one of my favorite quotes. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. And he lived that, right? He was shy. He was an introvert. But he had these nonviolent protests where he was able to change the world. He helped free India from British rule, right? He helped ease poverty. He helped support women's rights and so much more in his lifetime by being a shy, quiet person. But he stood for what he believed in. He used his voice and his body in a way to protest against what he felt was not right, peacefully, quietly, right? He made a huge impact on the world. He said, in a gentle way, you can shake the world. So today I'm asking you, how can you be the change that you wish to see in the world? What can you do? When people are afraid, they're really seeking confidence and clarity from their leaders and hope and light through the darkness. They want to know, what can I do? How can I support? So many of us are in this like freeze zone right now, right? Where we're just frozen and we don't know how to help. Make a post on Facebook. Just say, you know what? I'm sending you love right now. That's all it takes. So it doesn't have to be massive, big, grand gestures. Maybe it's just writing a thank you note to people you know that are making a difference in the world. Maybe it's just sending a quick Facebook note to somebody. Hey, I see you. Thank you. Thanks for spreading the love. Maybe it's putting a sign in your window at your house, just reminding people that they're loved, right? So I'd love to know in the comments, like, what's on your heart right now? How do you want to help? So Dr. Roz mentioned my hearts, and about 10 years ago, I had an idea to make hearts because there was a lot of hatred in the world at the time. And I started making hearts out of fabric. And it was just little stuffed hearts that people could wear as pins. They could just keep them next to them if they wanted to. But now if for those of you who know Joann's, our fabric store closed everywhere. So I scoured all of the Joann's looking for fabric, and I bought as much fabric as I could find. And so I made all these little pins. I have a bunch of different fabrics that I've used. And on the back, I glue felt or, some kind of material that's just like a felt type thing. And on the back, I put these messages, and it says, I'm spreading love and kindness. This is to remind you that you are loved and loved in this world. Please pay it forward. So I give these out. I've given out hundreds and hundreds of these, even just in the last couple of months. So I just like make them when I watch TV or whatnot, or when I'm feeling, down or stressed. I go, you know what? I'm going to make some hearts. I'm going to make some hearts. And so I'll give these out too, like at the grocery store, or the other day I was at Kohl's, and I had just walked in, and this woman and her daughter were walking out. They were pushing their cart to the cart section where they're putting their cart away. They were literally walking out of the store. She had a big full-length mirror on her cart, and she pushed it to the thing, and it fell off her cart and shattered. And that poor woman looked like she was just going to break down sobbing. Like you could see the weight of the world was on her shoulders, and that mirror breaking was like her last straw, So I immediately ran over there, and I'm like, I have something for you. I just saw what happened. I'm so sorry, but I just want to give you some love. And I gave one to her and her daughter. And the look on her face, and like you could just see her like, oh my God, thank you so much. I really needed that. Thank you so much. And she just was like so grateful just for that little gesture of love in her moment of, oh my God, I just dropped this thing I just paid for and it shattered everywhere. Luckily, the good news was that the store gave her a new one. She didn't have to pay for a new one. They were very kind about it. Um, but that's the kind of thing that I'm doing right now to spread love. One of the things is just giving these hearts out. Yes, it takes a lot of time, but everybody that I give these to is so grateful. I was at a protest the other day and I gave these out. And then I went to a party afterwards. It was the 4th of July. I went to a barbecue and there was a woman there and she's like, I was just at that protest and I saw these hearts everywhere and I was wondering, who's the heart lady? And then she met me. So she was very happy to receive a heart as well. Um, so anyways, my question to you or my invite to you is what do you want to do to help people right now? What's on your heart and how do you want to bring light into the world? So I invite you to think about that. I would love to hear from you in the comments what you're thinking about, what you have done, and you know, bring that, be confident, be courageous. I just really invite you to be courageous right now. Um, and I also just want to say too that I've had people reaching out to me and just thanking me for sharing things on Facebook, you know. As scary as it is sometimes to share things about what's going on in the world, people are seeing that and they're saying, thank you so much. Like I'm terrified and I just want to thank you for being courageous and sharing. So this is not a time to shrink. This is a time to spread your love and your message. Um, so the confident video series, I'm going to put that into the chat. And also, I'm also offering a confident visioning woman call, where we talk about how to get to your next level of your vision, how to shine your light. This is absolutely free. And I just want to help you support you with your confidence. So I'll put that, put the link to the video series. And then if you would like a free call with me, absolutely complimentary, just put call in the comments and then I will reach out to you to set up a time. Okay, that is time for me. And thank you so much. Let me grab my other notes. Okay, so next we have Priyanka, and she will be talking about when you're about to lose it, tools to stay calm and connected. We so need this right now too. So Dr. Priyanka is a board certified OBGYN physician, mother, and certified life and parent coach. With 12 years of experience in traditional OBGYN practice, she delivered thousands of babies and supported countless women through transformative health milestones. Today, she combines her medical expertise with coaching to empower women to navigate personal and professional transitions with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Her own life journey from immigrating alone at 17 to pursue higher education to completing medical training and building a career, founding a business, and embracing motherhood has given her a deep lived understanding of the complexities women face. Dr. Venkataraman is a certified Wayfinder life coach and certified parent coach through the Jai Institute for Parenting. As the founder and CEO of Wayfinding Mom, she's created a nurturing space where professional women can find clarity, connection, and direction during life's most challenging transitions, whether in their careers, parenting journeys, or personal growth. Awesome. I'm so excited to hear from you. And there she is. Okay, take it away.
Thank you. Can you all see my screen? Maybe?
Yep, we can see it.
Yes?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. All right, so thank you. I'm going to start with a story. Imagine this, a deer grazing on a green grassy patch. It's minding its own business. It's not doing anything else. And suddenly, out of the corner of its eye, it sees a lion coming towards it. And of course, it's going to bolt. And it's got its heart pumping, the muscles get all the blood flowing to them, and it's speeding away as fast as it can. And it just rushes over to some woods and it goes past some trees and then doesn't see anything anymore, kind of just shakes it off and goes right back to grazing. So, what just happened there? We call that, some of us have talked about it or heard about it, and Erin mentioned it too. We call that the fight, flight, or the freeze response. We've all heard about the deer in headlights that can happen as well, where they can freeze at times. But this time it was a flight response. And then they had this amazing ability to shake it off, maybe a little bit too soon because that lion's probably still right there, but just out of sight. But they shook it off and went back to their normal grazing routine. What would happen if it was a human in that situation? I'm sure they would also have their heart racing. I'm sure they're also got their muscles getting all the extra blood pumping to them, and they run and run to those edge of the forest, into the trees. And what do? They probably keep running a little bit more because they know that intellectually, even if I can't see that line, it's probably right there. And I got to keep going to make sure I'm safe. Well, that is a great thing that humans have. But when it goes into overdrive, that's when it's no longer serving us. So when fight or flight's in overdrive, we've got our minds, we've got things going on in our minds. Even when we're safe, even when we've passed the danger, we'll be sitting there going into, oh my goodness, I could have just died there. What would have happened to my family? How am I ever going to figure out what's going to happen next? What about the deer? Or if I were the deer, it would be, what about my family without me? And what if I was the lion? If it was a human who was in that position, that lion would be saying, oh, I couldn't save my family. I couldn't find food for them. I'm a failure. And this is where our fight or flight can land up going into overdrive, especially in humans. And you know how we land up using it. We're not just using it in scenarios where we're truly in danger. We're using it in scenarios where we have a deadline approaching, where we have a meeting that we need to attend, and it's not always serving us. You know, in this situation, if you're in a busy New York street and you got a bus barreling towards you, you absolutely need fight or flight to survive. But do you really need it in those situations? Do you need it to be activated when you have a deadline, when you have a meeting, when you're in a situation where you have to speak up for yourself, when there's this possibility that people may not understand you? And that's what we're hoping to figure out today. And I hope to get into that a little bit more about how to avoid always feeling like we're in that fight or flight. My name is Priyanka Venkataraman. I am, as Erin kindly pointed out, a physician and a mom and a wayfinder for myself, and also a coach and a life coach and a parent coach for others. And I love all the hats that I get to play. And let's dive right in. So today's as we have a shorter window, I'm going to dive straight into how does overwhelm and this overdrive fight or flight affect us, and how to use a tool that you could start using today to improve on it. The reflection, when it's time for you to reflect, that's our freebie, so you can dive in deeper when you get that freebie. So going back to that lovely scenario where you've got either a bus or you're late for a deadline. Of course, we all know we need that fight or flight response when it's that bus barreling towards us. That's when we get the adrenaline pumping into us. That's when our heart rate's up. And apparently my screen is frozen, so I'm going to keep talking while it catches up. And you've got your whole, the blood's going to your muscles, and you got to run. So it's going to make you want to run. But now when you have that same response show up every day, all day, through smaller things. Oh, we're not going to make it to that doctor's appointment. Oh, my kid's too slow. Oh, he's going to be late for school. Oh, I'm not going to make it to my class. So that's when you get cortisol pumping. And that's how people get high blood pressure, tension, needing massages all the time, having that short fuse. And then it affects our digestion, and it also affects our ability to heal and repair. Has anyone ever had a cold that really lasted a long time? Yeah, I was one of those people who got a pneumonia, whereas my husband and my kid just had a tickle in their throat that went away in 3 days. So, of course, now that we've got all this stress in us, we've got all this cortisol in us, we don't care about nutrition. We just want the quick and fast, easy food. We're more inactive. We're sitting and watching Netflix. We're using other modes to get us away from feeling stressed all the time, and our sleep is affected as well. I'm not going to go through the slide, it's a lot, but this is to show you all the medical effects that I can talk about all day and all night. But the gist of it is we have decreased ability to heal ourselves, we have a decreased lifespan, and we have an increased insulin resistance, increased appetite, weight, sometimes inflammation, pain, even increased blood sugar and cholesterol. And you know where that's headed. Hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, and we get towards heart attacks and strokes. And this is not even bringing up how it affects the quality of our life. When we are constantly in fight, flight, or freeze, we have a shorter fuse. We are always reacting without thinking, and we have limited impulse control. We lose connection with ourselves first. And guess what? That's how we also lose connections with others around us. Our friends, our families, our kids, our employer, employees. And when we lose connection with others, we're actually really social bodies. But when we lose connection with others, that's going to affect us. There's more chance of burnout. And of course, we're all disconnected currently and all leading towards mental health problems, as we all know, skyrocketed a few years ago with COVID. So this is the last piece of news that I want to share with you, which is medical related, and then we'll get right into the tool. The idea is mirror neurons, where if you're in front of someone else and you're in your fight or flight and reactive, then you're actually bringing their level up higher with you, and they're going to start matching you. So if I'm talking really fast and trying to get through my slides, and I want to make sure I make it, and I'm really rushing and I'm speaking real fast, guess what? Everyone's heart rate's going to go up. But if I just take a step back, ground and calm myself, and show up in a more balanced way, imagine how those interactions could go with your kid, with your spouse, in a team meeting, with your employer, even if you're negotiating for yourself. If you're able to do that from a place of groundedness and calmness instead of being defensive, then that other person's not going to get defensive as well. So the good news is whatever's happened in the past, it's all good because the mind is just like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets and the more it can expand. Imagine this sled that someone's going down on this newly fallen snow. The first time it goes down that path, it's going to find a route. But the next time you climb up and you go down the same path, or you go down again, it's going to keep going down that same path. It's going to pack that snow down, and that's going to be the path of least resistance. That's the path that it's always going to take. And that's how we've been all our lives. We didn't know any better. We were, even through evolution, it was important for the cavemen to be able to run away from those lions if they were in the way. So we've always been known that it's always been ingrained in us that fight or flight keeps us safe. Now here we are in this new world where we don't have as many lions. We sure maybe have buses and other things getting at us, and there's plenty in this moment to be worried about. And yet, if we can shift that sled over to a new path and go down that path and keep doing that, going down that new path and pack that down a little bit better, then we can change the trajectory of this world that way. So here's my tool, guys. We're going to jump right in. Pause is a simple tool that you can use every day, starting today and starting in this moment. Because when you're triggered in fight or flight, it can be as simple as just taking a breath. A simple one that I like to share with people is you can just put one hand on your chest, the other on your diaphragm, and take a breath and notice, is your chest the one that's rising or is it your stomach? And see if you can bring it down to your stomach, because that diaphragmatic breath is actually going to bring everyone's level down, especially yours. It's activating what we call the vagus nerve. And I promised myself I wouldn't go into much science. So I'd love to hear from all of you about any ways that you know that you like to get grounded. So there's some people who need stretching, yoga, more calming activities, some meditation, stillness, breath work. There are others who need activity. And in the moment, if they're triggered, it might mean pushing at a wall. It might mean jumping jacks. It might mean something more for the person who has, all the blood flow going to their muscles. in their fight or flight, and they need something more than that. Yes, senses, using our other senses, peppermint oil, I love that. Nature is a beautiful way to reconnect with ourselves, to ground ourselves. Thank you for bringing that up. Absolutely. Box breathing is perfect. We all have these little ways that we can get grounded in the moment. And I also want to recognize that when we are also going out in nature, doing meditation or exercise regularly, we're also lowering the level of our baseline. So if we're not only, when we learn to pause, not only are we learning to do it in the moment when we're triggered, but as we continue to practice that muscle, we're also lowering our fuse. We're not going to have that shorter fuse as well. So both work. In the short term, it actually works better if you've already been practicing meditation, stillness, and nature walks, then getting out of that trigger state a little bit easier in the moment. So A is for awareness. We've got to figure out if we're triggered, because if we're not aware, we can't do anything about it. And it actually works when we're trying to set those new paths down for that sled. It actually works to go back and reflect on the last time you were triggered and what happened. And that is what my worksheet's all about. It actually gives you prompts to go through, okay, when was the last time that I was feeling a little triggered, that I was in fight or flight? And it's important to go back and look at, what were my emotions then? What was I feeling? And what was physically going on in my body? Was my heart racing? Was I breathing really fast? Were my shoulders and my jaw really tight? And knowing that and remembering that will help us in the future to recognize the next time that we are getting triggered. And the next part of pause is to understand. And we heard this in our first talk today with Dr. Russ. You want to get curious. You want to understand, why is this happening? Where is this coming from? Why am I triggered? And when we are curious, we can no longer be in our fight or flight, because curiosity actually helps us disconnect from that. And I do want to take a moment to really mention that trauma is absolutely something that requires care and support from an expert. And please, please understand that when I'm talking about triggers, yes, we get triggered all the time with these little traumas, but I want to really validate that there are people who have PTSD who really deserve to get care with a professional in such situations. S in pause stands for self. What do I need in this moment so I can still continue to show up? If I'm in a situation where I need to negotiate for myself and I'm going into fight or flight, and oh, wait a minute, my breaths and my diaphragmatic breathing and my box breaths in the moment, or my self hug to myself under the table isn't really working, maybe it means I need to prioritize myself and say, you know what, I'm going to have to cut this meeting short and we're going to have to come back. Or it means the next time you come back with a support person, or you come back more prepared, or you have a better chance of showing up for yourself, whatever that situation. But you can't fill anyone else's cup unless you first filled your own. And of course, that's how you can break the cycle of reacting when you're in fight or flight to responding the way you wish to. Okay, so this is a very quick recap, but I wanted to give everyone the opportunity, just taking a minute to, and I want to check the time. Okay, good. I have plenty of time. I want to take a minute here. I just briefly shared the pause tool. The worksheet is there. I'm going to give you the link for that in a second. And that goes through everything that people would need to immediately start implementing it today. But I want to take a minute to ask everyone, what are you going to remind yourself after today? After this talk, and what are you going to want to tell yourself, not only in the moment when you're triggered, but also what you want to remind yourself and take away from this talk. And as people start thinking about that, I am doing this more and more. I'm trying very hard to shine my light as much as I can, as Erin said. And as I have started on this journey, I would love to get your feedback. So you can use the barcode or you can use the link that I'm going to put in as well in the chat, just to be able to share this wealth of information with others. And I want to hear from you to let me know if I did okay with it or if there's things I could change. And and it's only a 60-second survey. It's multiple choice with very few typing or writing. And absolutely feel free to connect with me if you'd like. The freebie is at the end of that survey. It's also in the chat. And now I'm going to go back and read what others are saying. Yes, mirror neurons. I love that. More meditation. I like that. And I would add that meditation doesn't have to mean a long 30, 45, 50-minute meditation. It could be a 2-minute stillness practice while washing the dishes, while doing laundry. I want to remind myself, even in the business, to take a pause. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. It's okay to reprioritize myself based on emotions and check-ins by being proactive. Beautiful. And let me go back to my slides real quick and show you the pause again. It's hard to juggle all these. I don't know how you do it, Erin. Which page am I on?
It ain't easy.
Oh, goodness. So it's the work of this is mainly in the P, even outside of being triggered, in the A, even reflection, and so that you can be aware in the moment, in the future. The U, the understand, oh goodness, this is what I've been still working on for years with therapy, with coaching, with counseling, with everything. And then the S is new to me to really make sure I spend that time with myself and figure out what I do need. Because as a giver, as a healthcare provider, as a person in service, I always gave to others. And it's relearning to give to myself, which is still important because, as we say, that if you can't fill your own cup, you don't have anything left for others. E is to efficiently respond. And if you've done PAUS, E comes naturally. There's nothing more there that needs to get done. And I would love to hear from anyone else if there's anything coming up. Otherwise, I will give you a few minutes back, Erin. Here's my code again for anyone who needs it. I do have plenty of more slides going through each of them, and you will have all of that information in the freebie as well. Thank you for listening today. Hope everyone gets to get calm and grounded starting now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Priyanka. Everyone, type your takeaways, questions, comments in the comments or in the chat. That would be awesome. And okay, thank you so much. All right, and then for anyone who missed any of the links, we're gonna go back to those. I'll have all the speakers put their links in again at the end. But for now, we're gonna have Jasmine go again. And looks like the Facebook went back to, it started public and now it's private again to friends only. So I don't know. The Facebook gods are working against us today, but we'll just have to roll with it. Anyways, so next we have Jasmine Charchun, and she's going to talk about how to turn what you know into what you do, stop letting what you know sit on the shelf, and start using it in your life, work, and business. I know so many of us have invested in programs, books, all the things over the years, and we read them, use them, but don't actually like put them into play in our life and business. So she's going to teach us how to do that, which is awesome. So meet Jasmine Charchun, founder of Wise Willow Coaching. She's a certified professional coach and trainer with over a decade of experience helping heart-centered high achievers move from stuck and overwhelmed to bold, confident action in life, career, and business. Jasmine's coaching turns the I should use that course book program energy into real momentum, blending growth, mindset, accountability, and intuitive guidance rooted in her own journey. Hello, recovering people pleaser. Yeah, same. She works with clients worldwide and believes deeply in the power of community, support, and embracing the messy middle. Off the clock, Jasmine's ocean swimming with her dogs, swing dancing, or trying to keep her garden alive. Enthusiasm, guaranteed, skill, still a work in progress. I love that. All right, take it away, Jasmine.
All right. Thank you, Erin. And thank you, Dr. Roz, Priyanka, and Erin, for what an amazing afternoon we've had so far. So I just want to give you a round of applause to all the speakers and those in Facebook land who are joining us as well. And because we've been sitting for a little bit, if you feel the need to get up, please do that. I will stay seated, but if you need to move around, you need to get the hips moving, please move. Do what you need to take care of your body. I know that we're coming to the end here, so hoping to end with a bang after such a really great afternoon. So thank you, everyone. Um, so what if I told you that there was thousands of dollars in your closet? Maybe in a box, it's a bit dusty, but that it's there. What if that love that Dr. Ross talked about, Priyanka spoke about that pause, Erin spoke more about that love. What if that was also in the closet? Your confidence, the next successful step in your business, getting the health you want. What if it was also in the closet? Would you take 20 minutes to go in there and dig it out? Who would take 20 minutes? Raise your hand, digital hand or physical hand. Facebook line, you raise what you need to, girl. Would you be willing to do that? That's what I'm going to ask you to do today, is 20 minutes to focus on using those tools or resources that I know you've invested lots of money on. I know that I have, and actually put them to use. And why does that matter? It matters because the impact that you want to have is a combination of two things: information, purposeful action, and that leads to transformation. Not just information gathering. Information gathering feels really good and it can feel active, but we need to combine it with purposeful action in order to move forward. And so that's what we're going to do here today. And I have one requirement, one small little thing I'm going to ask of you today. It's very, very small. Is for you to participate in your learning today. To you to be an active learning in your own learning, not for me. Because yeah, you don't need it for me, but just for yourself, this gift of 20 minutes. So I'm going to ask you to pretend, to play with, to take some notes, and I invite you to take the time to do that today. All right. So let's move forward. Get your pen and paper handy. We're going to get some work done and have some fun. They can be combined. All right. So a little bit about myself. Not only was I a people pleaser, I loved workshops, seminars, tools, freebies. I was at everything. And I got to the point where I was just buried and overwhelmed by it all. And I was really feeling bad about myself. I remember thinking, I literally was crying with like a box of old tools that I had spent thousands of dollars on, hadn't used. And I thought, what is wrong with me? Something is wrong with me. Why can't I get this figured out? Why does my life look the same way it did months ago after all this money I spent and all this time? And I was someone who was always chasing the next big shiny thing. Is anyone like that? Like, ooh, there's something shiny over here, and I'm running to grab that course, running to grab that seminar. Ooh, it's on sale. Ooh, even better. And I'd run to grab it. And I feel better because I know I'm not the only one that does this. So there was a study done by the University of Scranton, and it found that 92% of people who set personal development goals do not achieve them. Woo! I heard that and it gave me chills. 92%. And not because they're not capable or that it's not even good information. They're getting great information. But the key is that they're not taking action on it. It stays in the closet. They're not taking action, so it doesn't actually get used and it's not useful. And so why does this happen to us? Why do we do this? Why was I doing that? Because these tools and strategies are not designed for you. Heads up, they're not designed specifically for you. They don't keep in mind your vision, your values, what you're afraid of, what you're really great at, whether you have children, no children, dogs, house, condo, where you live. It doesn't keep any of that in mind. And those are all important influences to you actually using those tools. So today we're going to do it a little bit different, right? Little tiny bit different, where we're going to combine simple, easy fun with action and purpose. That's my goal today. And I'm going to take you on a little journey. So before we do this, heads up, has anyone noticed how expensive the groceries are getting? Am I the only one you're thinking, why am I spending $700 at Costco? What on the earth is going on? There's a lot of pressure right now, not only financial, but otherwise. And so as business owners and leaders, female entrepreneurs, we need to be really clear about how we're investing our time and money. Who can agree with that? We need to be really clear right now about where we're going. I've created something specifically for that because I'm in the same boat, being clear about how I want to spend my time and money. And so it's called the Course Fit Finder. It's a quick guide to help you figure out which courses, seminars, tools you should invest your time and money on before you spend the time and money. So I'm going to put it in the chat here because we don't need another tool and resource we're not going to use, right? We're going to figure things out today, but we don't need to keep doing that. So feel free to grab that. Super simple, 4 questions. You need to say yes to all of them. If it's a yes, take it. If it's a no, leave it for now. Okay. So phase 1, we're talking about the EAT method today, but phase 1 is getting clear on your destination. So I live on an island in the North Pacific, not anywhere warm, anyone. It is cold here. I live in the island in the North Pacific Northwest. And in order to get off the island, I need to take a plane or a ferry. So if I'm going to go to LA, I need to take a plane or ferry. And so the destination affects the route that I take, right? If I decide, you know what, I'm going to stay on the island, then I don't have to take a ferry or plane. I can take my car, and it changes the route that I take. It changes the decisions that I make in order to move around. That's the same when it comes to our personal growth and development. We need to be clear about the destination, not perfectly, not every step, but we need to have some vision on where we're actually going to go so we make the right choices and take the right courses and use the tools effectively. Kelly, a client that I was working with on the Thrive Now Club, a membership that I run, she was someone who had all the tools, fancy dancy tools, wasn't using any of them and was incredibly frustrated. And so I took her through this process that I'm going to take you through to help you get clear on your destination so you know which tools to actually use and which to dig up and which ones you can leave for now. So this is the active part, everyone. Hint, hint. This is the active part. So I want you to take a moment here. Take a breath if you need to, move your body any which way feels good. And I want you to imagine that it's December the 31st. It's the end of the year. Okay? That's about 5.5 months from now. Hard to believe, right? So December 31st. And things in your life are going really well. It could be your career, your business, your relationship, your health. Maybe you have as much confidence as you ever had. Things just feel really good. Not perfect, but you're in that like groove of life. You ever felt that before? Raise your hand if you felt like a moment where you're like, I am in the groove right now. You're having this moment. And from that place, I want you to answer this question and put it in your notebook. Okay? If life felt really good by the end of the year, right, December 31st, what's one thing that would have changed for the better? I'm going to say that again. And I'm going to put that in the chat. If life felt really good by the end of the year, what's one thing that would have changed for the better? I want you to take a moment here to answer that. You don't have to share it with anyone. This is just for you. Okay? Maybe it's your health is on track. You're feeling really good. You're thinking, I'm in my 40s and I'm rocking it. How amazing. Or maybe that relationship with your son is going really well and you're actually talking now, even though he's a teenager. What's one area of your life that's going really well and has maybe changed for the better? I'm going to give you 10 seconds here to fill that out. All right, everyone, I'll bring you back. Of course, you can always come back to this if you don't have it quite right. It's all good. We're just playing today. Okay. So that is your destination. For this exercise, this is your destination. This is your LA and what we're going to focus on for the rest of our presentation today. So the EAT method, EAT. I like things that are simple, easy, and roll off the tongue. EAT works for me. And EAT stands for engage, apply, try. Engage, apply, try. So it's using this tool to help re-engage with those old courses, those tools that are not being used to help you get you to your destination by December the 31st. Okay? So step one is engage. Engage means noticing what matters to you and knowing that not everything's going to resonate with you, not every tool you need to use right now, but noticing the one tool that you can bring up and start using again. So I'm going to invite you to think about a course, a workshop, a podcast, a book that you've used, you've bought or downloaded, and you think, based on this destination, this might actually be a useful tool for me that I can use. And to answer this question, coaches love questions, so I'm all about them. Here's a question for you. What did I find most engaging about this course, seminar, book, podcast? What did you find engaging? I want you to write everything down. Just to take everything and just write it down. So thinking about your destination, this tool that you used, what did I find most engaging about this course, seminar, book, or podcast? I want you to write everything down. Don't hold anything back. Like I said, this is just for you. I'm going to put that in the chat. What did I find most engaging about it? For example, maybe your destination is that you want to spend more time with your growing teenagers. Maybe it's that. And you took a productivity course. And so you write down all the things you learned from that course, thinking, I wonder if I could connect spending more time with my teenager with my own productivity, that information shared in the course. I want you to write everything down. I'll give you 10 seconds to do that. All right, bring you back. And if you don't have it, it's okay. I have something for you at the end if you need to catch up. It's all good. We're just playing today. Okay, so engage is getting back into those tools, finding the one tool that's going to help you get to that destination. Okay, so that's E. A is apply. Applying is about choosing one insight. This is the key, everyone. I'm going to say it again. Applying one insight and bringing it into your world. So it's not taking all the information that you got from that productivity course or the how to network. It's choosing one insight. So I'm going to bring you back to your destination, where you want to be on December the 31st. And to answer this question, I'm writing your book. What's one tool, insight, concept that really stuck with me? Okay, so thinking about that course, that podcast, that what have you, what's one tool, insight, concept that really stuck with me? The one. And if you notice, everyone, I didn't say how, like how you're going to apply it. We don't need that yet. Put that away. It's just the what. I had a mentor say to me, Jasmine, when the what and why is clear, the how will show up. At first I thought, no, it didn't. He was right. I was wrong. Okay. What's one tool, insight, concept that really stuck with me? I want you to write that down. I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. 10 seconds. It's quick today. That's okay. We can come back to this. It's all good. So maybe you went to that productivity seminar and a quote stuck with you. And the quote was, your calendar should reflect your values, not your obligations. Write that down. One thing that stuck out. All right. And lastly, engage, getting in those tools. Try picking one insight and tool that you're going to use, not the how, not yet, just the what. Step 3 is try. Try is about taking an action step, one action step, and testing it out. This is about experimentation and play. If you notice, I've said play quite a few times. Why do I do that? Because when we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and I include myself in that, it really limits our creativity, doesn't it, everyone? Have you ever been in a situation where like I'm trying to be creative, but I have so much pressure and I can't think? Who's ever been there? Yeah. And you're like, why can't I be creative? Yeah, because you're squishing yourself. Priyanka would probably say it in a better, more succinct way than me, but I'm using squishing. You're squishing yourself. So to try is about taking one meaningful step and just experimenting with it. Okay? So you have your destination, the course or tool, the one insight, and this is about applying it. So putting the rubber to the road, as my grandpa would say. So I want you to answer this question. What's one small step I can take to experiment with when it comes to this tool or idea? One small action, not one huge leap for all mankind. I'm asking for just one small, teeny, teeny thing that you can do. Small, teeny, teeny. And on top of that, add a little sugar to it. I'm going to ask you to pick a date when you're going to do that thing. This is about accountability to yourself, making this a priority for you. Isn't it amazing? We're all so busy, but we take at least a few minutes and brush our teeth, right? We take a few minutes to at least shower. We find time for that. I want you to have that level of commitment, like brushing your teeth. I know you're going to brush your teeth. I want you to bring that focus to this as well. As a gift to yourself. As a gift to yourself. So maybe from the productivity seminar, you go through your calendar and you decide on Fridays you're going to remove all your meetings. Maybe just for 1 week. And you remove the meeting so you can spend time with your teenage son. That's an example. And you're going to do it by July the 25th. That's an example. Okay. In the chat, so you have a couple minutes here in the chat. What's the one thing you're going to do? If you feel comfortable sharing, of course. What's the one thing you're going to commit to doing? And because you're going to take it a step further, you're going to share it with the group here. What's the one thing you're going to do? Put that in the chat. What's that small step you're going to do? I did this exercise myself, and I decided for 15 minutes to start a day, I was going to read a book. That's where I started, just for the week, see what happened. It changed my business. It took a little bit of time to get some learning in that I wasn't doing before. It wasn't sexy and ooh, like a big parade, but I took 15 minutes, and that changed everything for me. What is it for you? Mallory, recognize everything by color tabs like I used to before I got busy. Yes, I love color tabs. I have like lots of markers and I color things up. It's a great way to remember things. Dr. Roz, I commit to moving my body every day. Yes. And do you notice that Dr. Roz didn't say that I'm going to move my body perfectly and I'm going to spend, she just said, I'm going to commit to moving my body every day. What if you just did that? What if you just did the small thing to experiment? What if? Okay. We're coming to the end of our 20 minutes. We got this going quick today. But it's a simple plan that you can use over and over and over again. Because once you do this one step, you can do another step from there, can't you? And then another and another and another. Small, doable steps. Small, doable steps is what builds a foundation, which builds a house, doesn't it? And this is an opportunity for you to start building your own foundation, an area of your life that needs maybe a little bit of love and care. For those of you who are like, Jasmine, this was way too fast. I'm talking to those process people who are like, I need more details. I hear you. This is quick today. So if it would be helpful, I'm going to put my email in the chat. Feel free to email me and I will send you a breakdown of today's presentation with lots of colors, but a step-by-step explanation and the questions I just asked. Okay? So if that would be helpful, you're like, this was too fast, I couldn't get it figured out, please feel free to send me an email and I'll make sure that you get a little one pager of today with all those questions so you can, and it be fillable, nice and easy for you. In conclusion, if you don't remember anything of what I say, you're like, she wore a very loud sweater, her hair seemed big, and that's all you can remember. I want you to remember this above all, is that this is the time, the call out to you to use what you already have. Use the tools that you have. What you want and want to create, you already have it. The key to all this is to take some action from it. It's available to you, and I invite you to do that. Thank you, Erin. This was so much fun. Thank you, everyone, for being part of this. And this has been such a great afternoon. Thank you so much. Feel blessed. Thank you.
Thank you. That was awesome. Yay. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate everyone for being here. You guys are all amazing. Thank you again to all our speakers. Make sure speakers to drop your links again or how they can get a hold of you in the chat so that everyone can, so that you can get everyone's speaker gifts. And as I'm wrapping up, let's see. So all the speakers are putting their links and things in the chat. And again, for everyone here, remember, I'm also offering a free Confident Woman call where we talk about expanding your vision, your confidence, how to get you to the next level of your life, your business, your love, all that good stuff. So if you would like a call with me, please type call into the chat and I will make sure to reach out to you. If you enjoyed the call today, hopefully you did. We do this every month. Please spread the word. Our next one is August 14th, same time, 2 to 3:30 Pacific time. Our speakers will be Jill Lublin. She'll be talking about the profit of kindness, how kindness is the new currency. Andrea Stenberg, simple steps to show up confidently on video, even if you think you're not ready. They are also polka dots. All of us are polka dots today speakers. If you don't know about Polka Dot Powerhouse, definitely check that out. It's a great group. And I will be speaking about how to stay positive and confident during times of challenge. So thank you again all for being here. Please join us again next month. Spread the word. And I hope all of you have a great month. And we will see you on Facebook in the Confident Woman community. Until then. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Speakers, please
Thanks.
on
Thank you,
everyone else.
Priyanka. Thank you, Dr. Oz, Danny, Jocelyn, Mallory. Thank you so much for coming out. Jocelyn, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Delighted to be with everybody. Thank you.
Okay.